Welcome, people in the audience, people watching on YouTube. Remember, if you like what you see, subscribe to the channel. Please welcome Deadly!
Thank you.
Crap, we have to tune again. Dang it. We're never ready.
Gotta change
Okay,
these strings.
let's lower the pressure on ourselves then. We're gonna play the title track to our new record, which is Ride or Die. That's it.
Something, but it wasn't me. And all the drinking pushed us far away. They couldn't make me stay. I heard the wind calling me out the door. Left empty space where I had slept before. Left him some whiskey and some pills to take, to wash away the heartbreak. For it was your ride or die. I was his and he was mine. Two of us, two of one kind. Love just don't work out sometimes. When he met me, I had turned 19, full of fire, grit, and hopes and dreams. A cold comfort for a colder man. We let this the flame in hand. Love lingered around for a while, but then I never seemed to see him smile. I was an island in a frozen stream. He was right beside me. Before we was your ride or die. I was his and he was mine. Two of us, two of one kind. Love just don't work out sometimes. Now my side of the bed's where he would sleep, and his old borrowed sweatshirt's mine to keep. And though I never really think of him, sometimes I get wondering. For it was your ride or die. I was his and he was mine. Two of us, two of one kind. Love just don't work out sometimes. For it was your ride or die. I was his
2 on 3? That should be it.
All right. Okay, we've got a few more for you. Thanks for hanging out with us. You guys are the best.
Like when you're a professional tennis player, this is usually when a little boy or girl runs out from the side and hands you a fresh tennis racket or something, but we actually have to tune ourselves.
Yeah. We need a small tuning child.
In a tennis outfit.
attached to you but strings. Go on, get up and go home. Don't wanna talk on the phone. Well, I was born in an every distant town. My memories are scattered, leaves upon the ground. So many years of fear shattered inside my room. A cold wind came like a grenade, blackened out the moon. The roof came crashing down and kissed me on my head, and I could see finally the stars above my bed. You're like a diamond in the dust, so strange that everything ain't enough. Go on, get up and go home. Don't wanna talk on the phone. Well, I was born in an every distant town. My memories are scattered, leaves upon the ground. So
Thanks. Thank you. Well, I think this is going to be our last tune before Brian does his deep, penetrative interview. We
Nice.
we heard he hired a private investigator and went really deep, so I'm curious to see. This last one is going to be it's also the first track on our latest record. This one's called Over the Rhine. One, two, three, four.
Sorry. My bad.
1, 2, 3, 4.
There was a part of me I could not define. A level down below the bottom line. Cracked it open to let in the light. Lost and alone over the Rhine. Woke up in an unknown bed, but it was mine. Sat straight up and flipped the pages of my mind. Sun came out, but it was such a waste of time. Lost and alone over the Rhine.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think that's it, yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm curious and afraid. Oh, nice.
Like inside the method actor's studio. Perfect. Yes. Yeah, I'll sit back further. The director is telling me. There is a grasshopper right here. That's luck, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. I won't be sitting on it. But for those of you who can't see, Jiminy Grasshopper is right there on the chair. So it looks like he has like spider webs on his legs, though. So I'll pull those off. Yep, there we go. Now he's a little freer. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, I'll just wait till he jumps off, and then I'll sit back
Well,
down.
maybe he has some questions.
Yeah. Thank you very much for being here again. This is was a fantastic night to have you back and in front of a live audience again. It's been since February of 2020.
My God.
So here's my favorite memory of that night is after the show, we settle up because bands like to get paid, and I like to pay them. And so I give them their course. They're like, okay, we finished cleaning up the dance hall, but we need to go for a walk. And so Brian and Carr are staying in the homeroom, and the blinds are up, and I'm out walking the dogs, and I look through the window, and I see them, and they're jumping up and down, celebrating, and hugging each other. It was super great. So all thanks to the audience here at Churchill that you bring about that kind of excitement and joy to the musicians that come here. So thanks, guys.
Thanks for having us back.
As you can tell, the grasshopper has moved, and I can sit down. So it's the world has changed since that show a little and a lot. And you guys have been on tour off and on, but you did a big U.S. tour with Blitzen Trapper, and at the start of that tour, you were also the opening act. And for those of you who don't know, Brian is one of the founding members and also the drummer. So what was that like?
Well, sometimes nepotism is a good thing. I don't know that we would have gotten that spot if I wasn't in the band for 22 years. But I'm really thankful that we got it. It was really a great time. At least I had a great time.
It was fun.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
It was a lot of work for you, though, because you had to
yeah,
do
I didn't
double duty.
Well,
the
yeah, I
whole
didn't
time.
rest a lot, but that's not a bad thing on the road. I mean, when you're traveling on and playing a different city every night, like sometimes just all the driving and all the downtime can be really boring, and I didn't really have time to be bored, which is not a bad thing. But it was super fun. I mean, we've had a few chances to play for bigger audiences here and there, and we've played some festivals, but that was like pretty great crowds every night, and that's like something that we've been working towards for 4 years now. So that was nice. That was nice.
Yeah, and I imagine, like, in some cities where you had big followings, like, of course they were out, but were you playing places that Blitzen Trapper hadn't played before on this tour?
Yeah, we played a few places they'd never been, and I think, like, San Juan Capistrano and Carmel. Where else?
Big winery as a Blitzen Trapper.
That was San
Done
Juan.
many wineries. Grasshopper just flew.
Came over to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we played a few places that they had never been, but mostly places we'd been.
Nice. So as we were filming this set, and I always struggle with certain acts to like classify what they do, and it may not be a new term, but watching through my lens tonight, I was like, this is cinematic folk. There's something very cinematic about the way you write, the way you sound, like there's a moving image that comes along with the music that you make. So like, talk about like the process of how a song gets created besides just seeing a train go by and then the song comes.
It's mostly trains for me. No, I don't know. How do you write?
I try to, because I write sad country music, so it's like you present the problem, you sass a little bit in the middle, and then at the end you just, you admit that what's going on, and then you end it. So it's just like the Beatles taught me.
I think that, I feel like you've told me before, though, that that you do what a lot of country artists do is you find a killer line and then sort of reverse engineer the song.
I do. Yeah, I start with a chorus. Yeah, with the line, and then just move the idea and move backward from it.
Yeah, that's one way. I honestly not sure how I write because sometimes it takes me a long time, and I usually just think about like. For me, it's really like about feelings, and if I feel like the words that I'm coming up with sound right to me, then it works. I don't really worry about necessarily a message or like a point. I mean, those things usually come anyway when you have words in a string, but sometimes I'm like, oh, that's an interesting line. I have no idea what that means, but it sounds really nice.
I feel like you hit it on the head where you said he writes cinematically, where he brings feelings or images more than a complete story.
Thanks, you guys.
Well, and we mentioned earlier, like the world changed quite a bit since February of 2020. The next time that you came, like we had originally booked for June of 2020, and thinking like, this pandemic thing, it's not really going to be that big of a deal, and life will be back to normal quickly. But then you came, and it was like, this wouldn't be a good idea. We shouldn't do live in person. But at the same time, like George Floyd had just been killed, not too long before you had come, and Portland changed, and the world changed because of that event. And so one of the things that I also thought, I mean, you weren't the first to do it, but of the bands that we had here, like you were doing live from your couch stuff more than anybody. Is it good to be back in the world? Do you like being back in the world?
Oh my gosh, it's so much better.
Oh
We
my
love
gosh,
you guys.
yeah. I don't say this to disparage anybody who wants to stream, but it's kind of the worst. Like, we did it for, like, we pretty much started, like, right away. As soon as we didn't have a chance to play, we were like, what are we going to do? We want to try to keep playing shows somehow. We want to try to connect with people. And for, like, 2-3 weeks, maybe a month, right? We did like, a weekly streaming show and tried to keep interacting with our friends and fans. And within that 3-4 weeks, everyone on the internet was streaming, and we sort of just kind of got lost in a sea of content. So we stopped, but it was really interesting at first, I suppose, because the first few times we did it, we did have a lot of interaction, but that really fell off as it was almost like, you're going from your standard TV that has 4 channels to all of a sudden someone gives you like 230 channels of cable. It was an interesting transition. So we just kind of stopped, and that's, I think, for me at least personally, that's when the depression of it all really began to take hold, because I was like, all the work we've been doing, booking these shows, was 50 shows just like that were gone. A tour to Norway was gone. A tour on the East Coast was gone. An opening slot touring for some other bands that we'd really worked hard to get were gone. And it was all happened within a week. Within a week, all those things were canceled. And so then when the streaming thing seemed like it was just pointless, I think it just was a bit of despair there for a good 4 or 5 months. And then when the spring of next year came around, we really were able to get back out, because wineries and breweries and other places were doing outdoor shows, and that kind of saved us. Otherwise, I don't know what we would have done with 2 full years of being totally unemployed.
Right. And you guys stayed creative throughout the process, but obviously there were times where it was less motivating to be creative.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah, remember it was airport rules at the beginning of Corona? Drink at 8 in the morning. It was fine.
With
Just
this new,
everyone's like, oh God, no. You poor sweet alcoholic woman.
it helps with sleep patterns to drink earlier, according to scientists. So, there's that. That's good.
Is that true?
It is true, yeah. Like this one sleep scientist who wrote this book called The Power of Sleep and Why We Sleep, and how it helps to keep your brain active and healthy, is that alcohol disrupts sleep patterns. And so he was like, I know it sounds weird, but, you know, if you can drink before 2 o'clock, it's always better for you. So, you know.
All right, for
Yeah.
science.
So there you go. But with the new record and new songs that you're working on, like, will it be a full length or will it be another EP? And when can we have it?
Well, I don't know. But we did just recently record a live album of our older material that we had initially recorded in our apartment, and it was very intimate, like one guitar, 2 voices, very kind of how we started. And those songs, and some of them we played tonight, have all grown and become much more psychedelic, much more jammy. And but we don't have any we didn't have any recordings that actually sound the way that those songs now sound. So we recently re-recorded them live in a really nice studio in Portland. So hopefully that'll be our next release before our next full-length album comes out. We'll have something in between to kind of represent our live show. But the full-length one we're planning will probably be next year sometime.
Well, we can't wait to have you back. So thank you.
Thank you.
Very much for being here. Thanks everybody in the audience for being
Thank you.
here.
You guys are the best.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you.
They have wonderful merchandise that looks
We have
good on
wonderful
you
merchandise.
as well as good on me. And do you take anything besides Venmo?
We still take cash.
All right.
yeah,
And
yeah.
do you take credit
We
cards?
take Venmo, PayPal.
All right, very good. Someone had asked me earlier, and I was like, well, if they don't take cards, they could buy it from us, and then I will pay you.
That's true.
So
That's
we
very
could do it
helpful.
that way,
Thank
too.
you.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. But yeah, come and buy the rest of their merch that's here so that, did you ever get your car back? I have to ask Cara.
Wait, what?
Did your car get stolen?
No, my
Oh, okay.
friend's car she got it back. My friend's
Okay,
car got
good.
stolen.
I saw a posting about that. So
It
thanks
was-
again. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, and thanks everybody for being here. We'll see you tomorrow at doors open at 3:30 for John Deschler. And